Hi guys, Bobby Gas here. I just come from a friend of mine's that I hadn't talked to or seen in, I don't know, gotta be 10 or 15 years anyhow. I used to subcontract for him in the furnace business. And he gave me a call. He was thinking about, he wanted me to have a look at his computer. And he had a bunch of vinyl records. And he wanted me to have a look at them, see if any of them are worth any kind of money. And I thought it was his brother-in-law's collection because he had an incredible collection of early rock and roll from the early 50s and the 50s and the early 60s. He had an incredible collection. Anyhow, it wasn't. It was his stuff and his wife's stuff, right? So anyhow, I picked out a bunch of 45s, I don't know, 20, 30, 45s I liked, and a couple of albums. And I went through all his albums and I showed him the stuff he can sell. And he had three or four albums that were actually worth some money. Not a lot of money, but that he could sell to a record store. And I had a look at a 78s too. He had a pile of 78s, and he had some incredible 78s. I mean, some incredible 78s in near mint condition. I couldn't believe, fantastic stuff, right? But anyhow, I'll show you what he gave me. He also gave me a smartwatch, with the instructions and all of that stuff, right? I don't know nothing about these things. I'll read up on and see what it's all about. And in his garage, but he had hanging a whole bunch of a whole bunch of pot, right? So I grabbed a couple of buds. I told him I'd check it out, right? So I got some pot off him too. But wait till you see the records, right? I grabbed three albums too that the uh, the jackets, two of them were messed up, split and all of that. But I mean, the albums themselves were in great stuff, right? In great shape. I'll show you the albums first that I got, right? Well, there's Redbone, right? What's the name of that famous song on Redbone? Come and Get Your Love. I like that, right? But then I got these other bands here. Let's put this someplace. Oh, right here. I got, this is a Canadian band, the Bowmarks from way back when, right? On a quality label, the old Canadian quality, in really good shape too, eh? Fantastic shape. The Bowmarks. Jimmy Reed on VJ. I love Jimmy Reed. I got a couple of his albums, but I don't know if I got anything on the VJ label, eh? Great shape again. These are all of this stuff here is dirty, but they'll clean up nice. These early vinyl records, they clean up and sound fantastic. Also, Little Richard on Specialty. It's split, but it's Regency, which is the Canadian specialty label, right? I mean, it's split, but the record's in great shape, right? And I don't play covers. I just put that in a plastic bag after I clean it. It'll be just look great. And here's another guy, split and all of that, on the same kind of Canadian Regency, right? In great shape, just a little dirty. And this is Lloyd Price. Lloyd Price, was fantastic. He had a fantastic voice, eh? Here, let me show you the cover here. Oh, what's that? This must have been what the original sleeve was. Oh, we'll put that back in there. Lloyd Price. Fantastic voice. One of the good ones, Lloyd Price, eh? This will sound incredible, eh? Lottie Lottie, Miss Claudie, Mailman Blues, Wish Your Picture Was You, you know. Lloyd Price, fantastic. Now, wait till you see the 45s. I got a lot of them. I'll put glasses on for this. I need a puff. David Clayton Thomas, Walk That Walk. He was the lead singer of Blood, Sweat, and Tears once he left Toronto. That was a big hit up here in Ontario and Toronto. Walk That Walk. Here's Major Lance. Great tune, man. Great tune. Here's the Larks. The Jerk. Backed with, what's the other one here? Forget Me. But it's The Jerk that is the one you want, right? Over there, here's a label that's in pretty sad shape. Chest, Johnny and Joe. Over the Mountain, Across the Sea. Over the Mountain, Across the Sea is a great old tune from the 50s, eh? And it'll clean up nice. I mean, the label is pretty worn, but the record itself will play. I know it will. Here's Long Lonely Nights by Lee Andrews and the Hearts. I got the original album of that. Nice having that. Bob and Earl, you know the guys who did the Harlem Shuffle? Baby It's Over and Dancing Everywhere on the Norwood White label here, eh? This is a promotional copy too, eh? Not for sale. Devil with a Blue Dress On, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels on the Bell label. Here's James Brown, Oh Baby Don't You Weep. And the flip side is, oh Baby Don't You Weep. Huh. This is Canadian time, 2:59 on one side and 2:58 on the other. Oh, it's part one and part two. James Brown. I got a lot of James Brown 45s. Here's James Brown again on the King label. Spinning Wheel Part 1 and Spinning Wheel Part 2. He's got his picture on the King label, and then later on he started his own label that had his picture on it, eh? I got a lot of James Brown music. Here's Hank Williams, I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. Believe it or not, Hank Williams on a 45. Cold, Cold Heart on the other one. Hang on. Edward. Teddy.
It's Teddy.
Oh, Brennan. So you woke him up, but he didn't answer the phone.
He's not even home. I don't know where he is. The vehicle's here. I think he's out walking the dog or something.
Well, maybe he is, or maybe he's sleeping. Like I said, you know. So how are you? What is the? You using his phone or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Don't steal nothing.
The door was unlocked and I walked in. I thought he was going to be in bed.
Well, he's probably got the dog out for a walk then.
I would think so. So I'll wait for a while and go from there.
Oh, he don't. If the car's there, he ain't gonna be walking it long.
No, I don't think so.
Okay. See you later.
Take care. Bye.
That's the guy who gave me all the records, the pot and the smartwatch. He told me when he was driving me home, he told me, I'll drop in and see your brother. Call him up and let him know. And now he went over there. My brother's not there, but his house is open, so he used his phone. Oh, well. Hank Williams, Cold, Cold Heart, and I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry. That's MGM, the gold one. Those are represses, of course, eh? I believe so, the gold labels. On the Road Again, Canned Heat. And the flip side of that is boogie music. So that's, you know, a boogie 45, Canned Heat. We all know that, eh? Here's Little Caesar and the Consuls. That's a Canadian band. Uh, Something Funny, Something Wrong. That was a sort of minor hit for them. The sax player was a really, really good friend of mine. He's the guy who showed me how to, you know, to stand outside liquor stores and ask guys that are going in for a bottle of whiskey. Yeah, I learned that off of him. Next up here is another band from Toronto, the Mandela. Used to be called the Five Roads. From Toronto, 67. And the flip side is Give and Take, which was a minor hit. Here's a song that I actually don't know. It's on an old Spartan Canadian label, but it's the Saucermen, called Saucer Serenade. And the flip side is called The Flying Saucer Goes West. Novelty tune, you know, I like novelty tunes. Dirty as shit, but no scratches, you know, few marks. You know, he's got to all be cleaned up. He says they've been sitting in his basement for 25 years. He never even had a look at them, eh? Here's the Tennessee Three. That's Johnny Cash and the Tennessee Three on you know, Canadian-made quality. Come on, stranger, and guess things happen that way. You know, that was the hit. Guess things happen that way. Number 11 on this guy's thingy-majiggy. Next up here is a little bit of soap, the Exciters. Exciters, those are the guys who did, you know, tell them that I'm never going to leave them. A little bit of soap was a pretty big hit for them too, right? And Little Milton on the Checker, Ain't No Big Deal on You, and the flip side is Who's Cheating Who? Little Milton, I love Little Milton. On the Chess label, Etta James, Two Sides to Every Story, and I Worry About You. Etta James, not bad shape, eh? They're dirty, but well, you know, they clean up great, eh? And here's Clay Hammond, Dance Little Girl. And on the flip side is what the heck's the flip side? Oh yeah, Shotgun Wedding. That's the one I like, right? Otis Redding, I'm Depending on You, and I've Been Loving You Too Long. On the Volt, which was a Stax subsidiary, if I'm not mistaken. Gene Chandler, the Duke of Earl, on VJ. Duke of Earl. Duke, 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 Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl, Duke, Duke, Duke of Earl. I love that tune. It was a big hit in my day. Slim Harpo, Raining in My Heart, on the Zircon label. Flip side is, that's a famous tune, eh? Raining in My Heart. Don't Start Crying Now, Slim Harpo. And this is Little Johnny Taylor, Help Yourself, and the flip side is Somebody's Got to Pay. Little Johnny Taylor. Here's Wilson Pickett with my favorite Wilson Pickett tune, 99 and a half. Just won't do. I mean, I love that. Mavis Staples does an incredible job with it. If you never heard Mavis Staples do 99 and a half, or Wilson do 99 and a half, check them out, really. Flip side of that is Danger Zone by Wilson Pickett. The Wicked Pickett. Etta James, would it make any difference to you? And how do you talk to an angel? Etta James. Jimmy McCracken on the Checker label, I'm to Blame, and The Walk. On the Checker label, Jimmy McCracken, The Walk. See, you got a hole there. You got a number of 45s that have that. And a couple of those albums I showed you. Otis Redding, On the Volt, Chained and Bound, and Your One and Only Man. Otis. Not bad so far, right? Get the rest of them out of here. Roy Orbison, Here Comes That Song Again, and Only the Lonely, original, on Monument. Great tune, eh? Only the Lonely. Was that ever a monster, eh? Here's another James Brown tune, Choo Choo, and Prisoner of Love, one of my all-time favorite James Brown tunes, Prisoner of Love. Try Me and Prisoner of Love are two incredible tunes. Hoagie Lands, Baby Let Me Hold Your Hand. Here's, I've got this, but I had to pick it up again. It's Sticks and Stones and Any Other Way, On the Sue by Jackie Shane. I one time put the music together for a friend of mine's 60th birthday. They rented a bar, you know, free booze, free canopies, all that crap. And I put the music together, and when that song, and everybody was my age and grew up in the 60s and late 50s, and when that song come on, so many of them, oh my God, they jumped up and started dancing to it, because they all remembered, you know, back in the day when, you know, your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you danced to that song at the dances, right? Next up here, we got Baby Washington, You Never Could Be Mine, with The Time. Baby Washington. Now, I'll know some of you people here won't know some of these artists or the songs right, but believe me, this is all incredible music. I mean, he had, I suppose there might have been 1,045s, but I only looked at about maybe 200 and chose these ones. I didn't want to look anymore, right? Because I already knew I had a whole pile. I asked him how much he wanted for this music, and he said, no, it's yours, right? Here's Like a Rolling Stone by Bob Dylan. I got a lot of Bob Dylan stuff. I think I even got this 45. Buddy Holly, Ray Vaughan, and Take Your Time. Buddy Holly on the choral. William Bear, Share What You Got, and Marching Off to War. Share What You Got. Great tune by William Bell. On the Stacks. Little Milton again, We Got the Winning Hand, and Sometimey, Little Milton on the Checker. I like Little Milton, like I said. Gotta clean these up, they're so goddamn dirty. Here's Wilson Pickett, The Wicked Picket, with Deborah, and I'm a Midnight Mover. The Wicked Picket. Signed, Sealed, and Delivered, and Waiting in Vain, James Brown, on the Delta, hey? on an old chess label here, Jackie Ross, Selfish One. Famous tune, Selfish One, on the old chess label. Ask the Lonely, the Four Tops, and Where Did You Go? Ask the Lonely. That's a damn fine tune, that one there. That's why I picked this up, because I really like that. I mean, the Four Tops were great. Them and the Temptations. James Brown, remember I mentioned Try Me being one of my favorites. So I got Try Me and Prisoner of Love, uh, on 45s now, eh? I mean, I had them in, on albums, early albums. Because I'm not a big funky James Brown fan, eh? Now this one here, it's the Isley Brothers. It's Shout, Shout and Shimmy, part one and part two. The Isley Brothers, great tune. A lot of guys covered Shout. Great tune here. I've uploaded this before, eh? Twine Time, Alvin Cash and the Crawlers. That's an original right here. Well, all these are. Jerry Butler, For Your Precious Love, an incredible tune by Jerry Butler. On the VJ. Anytime I get VJ 45s, I'm a happy camper. VJ 40. I got one VJ Beatles 45. Only one, I believe. I might have a couple though. Benny King's monster hit, Stand By Me, on the Atco. Most of these are Canadian, eh? On the Horizon is the flip side. Hank Ballard and the Midnighters. Let's go, let's go, let's go. On the King label, eh? An original. I'd forgive you if you'd forgive me is the flip side, eh? But that's the let's go, let's go, let's go. That's the big one right there. And on Checker, Little Milton again. We're gonna make it. And Can I Hold Back the Tears? Little Milton again on the Checker. Dirty, but great shape other than the dirt. And last but not least, on the Delta, James Brown, Is It Yes or Is It No? And It's a Man's World. Great James Brown tune. Well, that's it, guys. What a score, eh? Later.